Today we find out which products are secretly sold by the same companies.
Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
When you go to the grocery store, don't you love to see all the beautiful options that await you in each aisle? A bit of healthy competition between companies to help drive innovation.
Oh yeah, I sure do. Except it's all a lie! A shocking amount of the products we know and love are also by the same parent company, so today we expose them.
It's time for Untangling the Family Tree of Capitalism, the game.
Okay, man muffins, you know Hidden Valley Ranch, but which of these two products is owned by the same parent company as the ranch? The correct product is hidden in the box between you. You have 3 lifelines you can use only once throughout the game. I'll explain them if you want to use one, and you have to get at least half of these right to win the prize in the end.
Rhett, are you there?
Yes, I'm over here, Link.
On the other side of that
but I can
box?
smell you.
You have ranch?
I have ranch. Now question.
Can I see the ranch?
Question for the judges.
Huh, it's ranch.
Can I look at the bottle and see what the parent company's called?
You should not. We believe we have
Hidden
covered
Valley,
that,
you
but
know, we're just gonna go with Hidden Valley. And Rhett, I have Sharpie over here. The marker?
And I have Clorox disinfecting wipes. Kills 99.9% of viruses and bacteria. But what about that 0.1%? Don't they get stronger?
Hold on, you need to focus. Dude.
Evolution much?
Focus. There's something in the box between us and it's only one of these.
Okay,
ranch.
so if you made ranch, let's just say you started making ranch. So we're 2 boys, we start a company, we start making ranch.
Is this the, you churn? I don't know, how do you make ranch?
Hold on, is the ranch out?
Are you churning? Oh no, it's right here.
Okay, so
Here, there's the ranch.
we start making ranch. We're like, oh man, we're making so much of this white liquid. We
need to clean it up.
We're popping the top. Oh, we can squeeze it. Oh, what other things can we squeeze? Sharpies? No.
No. Clorox bottles? Wipes?
We can squeeze wipes out. We have a thing that has something that white that comes out of the top of it. What other things can we have that is white that comes out of the top of something?
I think that
wipes.
No.
I think my logic is sound.
I think that the Clorox and the wipes and the Sharpie should go together.
The Clorox and the wipes and the Sharpie. You said 3 things and 2 of them were the same one. So
I did not say ranch.
Right.
I said I think that the
You
Clorox,
said the Clorox
wipes and the
wipes
Sharpie.
and the Sharpie.
Yes.
Yes. So you think what
let's
you're
just
saying
put-
is that you disagree.
Yeah, let's just put these 2 together.
Okay. Can you give me a believable scenario? Because I talked about pushing things and white things coming out, and it made a lot of sense. Now you got to make a connection to markers and Sharpies. Sharpies and ranch.
One day I hope to be so famous that people will bring me ranch dressing and ask me to sign it.
Okay. I didn't say make a conceptual.
And then I will buy both companies.
Like an SAT conceptual relation.
All right, fine. So we're gonna
explain it from a business decision.
No, yours is great. Let's go with the wipes.
Okay, so we're going with wipes. Because
okay, you're not using any lifelines on this, even though they're free and they don't cost you any
we don't
points.
need them
Hold on,
because
they're
Rhett
free?
had such
Yeah.
No, we don't need them.
No, we don't need them.
Okay,
We
you're
don't-
locked in.
Clorox
you're
owns
choosing
everything.
Clorox.
Yes.
Go ahead and peek in that box then.
Rhett!
Hey!
Clorox
That's not a
owns
Sharpie!
Everything! Oh, hey, buddy!
So yeah, Hidden Valley Ranch was invented in 1954 at the titular Hidden Valley Ranch, and it's been owned by the Clorox company since 1972.
So it's clean.
Everything.
That ranch is clean, y'all.
Rhett, what do you have over there?
Baby food.
Baby food banana.
I got Gerber.
Gerber up.
Can I have the banana? Because that's
Banana.
what I want to eat, banana.
Okay. What I meant was, what is your option?
That smells good.
I have Purina Dog Chow.
Oh, taste that.
Is that in the box?
I have Nair hair removal lotion.
That's weird. So hair removal or dog food?
Logic. I want to hear it.
which is also owned by baby food brand Gerber.
Oh, the carrots. Baby's got bad taste.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, this is food for babies, this is food for dogs. And if you get them confused, it's probably gonna be okay. You know, you put the wrong thing in the wrong bag, baby starts eating some kibble, it's not the end of the world.
What specific type of dog food do you have?
Purina. Purina.
Purina?
Purina.
Is it, what is the state of the dog food? Not like where it's made, but
complete adult with real chicken.
Is it
There's a
soft?
complete
Is it
adult-
hard? Is it dry?
Yeah, it's dry. It's dry.
Can you eat Nair?
Katrina,
are you
did
okay?
Was that a laugh and a hiccup?
I think Katrina hiccup.
What happened?
It's okay.
She's eating the kibble.
Have some baby food. It'll cover it right up.
Was that just a laugh or a hiccup? It was both.
Okay, Link, your logic is sound, but here, I have another logic I want to throw at you.
All right, hair removal and baby
If
food.
I'm making baby food, I'm like, oh, this is so gelatinous. Oh, and you know, late at night, you get a little interested in yourself.
Yes.
You end up rubbing this stuff on your body.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Now you got something wet
and you
slick
discover
on your body.
that
and then you're like, what other wet and slick things can I put on my body? I can't get rid of my hair with this.
Maybe you can. Maybe this baby food will take the hair off your body.
Maybe the baby food does take the hair off your body, and they just repackaged it and called it Nair and put women's legs on it instead of babies.
Right.
And the writers chose dog food because they wanted you to fall for the logic
The food
of
on food.
Food
Yep.
on food.
So we are going with
Nair.
Nair.
Pass it. You can't fool
No
us.
lifeline needed again.
We don't need lifelines because we have logic.
All right, look in the box.
No! No! You got us! Hey, that was my fault, man. I led you astray.
So Purina and Gerber are both brands under the mega conglomerate Nestle, which owns a terrifying amount of other brands that we'll avoid in case we want to play this again.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
What you got over there?
I have a chicken sandwich. A Popeye's chicken sandwich.
What? A chicken. You have a chicken. I have a chicken sandwich wrapper. Oh my goodness.
Take a bite, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, pass it back.
Popeyes, huh?
Oh, man. That's good. Oh.
They did a good thing when they did this. But what? I got a Burger King sign.
I got an Arby's sign.
What? To be sure, we would have heard if a freaking Popeyes was owned. Thank you. Was owned by Burger King.
I've eaten quite a bit of it. Sorry. First of all, Arby's feels a little bit like
I would guess Arby's.
on an island. No, I was going to say the opposite.
No, because Burger King. If you own Burger King, do you really need to own Popeyes? That's kind of greedy.
Well,
But if you own Arby's, you need to own Popeyes.
okay, that's good logic. Mm-hmm. But also, they probably put a product from one of these places in this, right? What are the lifelines?
Your lifeline options are shake. Someone will come out and rattle the box for you to listen to the sound it makes.
You don't need to do that.
Smell.
Yeah.
You may give the inside of the box one single sniff.
Yes.
Or yell. Chase will go to your dressing room and yell the right answer, and you have to try and hear it from the desk.
If it's Burger King, I can smell it. So let's.
Yeah. Can we both smell or just one guy?
You can both smell one single smell.
Okay, and just so you know, we're gonna stick our noses into this little thing. We're gonna close our eyes so we don't cheat. Okay, I'm going in. Ooh, I think I smell.
I don't smell anything my way.
I think I smell Burger King.
Dude, I didn't smell any charbroil, anything. You think they
I think
put
I
like
smelled a Burger
chicken
King.
fries in there?
I smelled a Burger King chicken sandwich. I smelled the mayonnaise and the chicken together.
Are you serious? Well, that's possible.
Maybe I wanted to.
I was trying to smell for char.
But
I can't smell again, huh?
But your Arby's logic made sense to me.
But if you smelled a Burger King chicken sandwich, how do you know you're not smelling an Arby's chicken sandwich?
That's a good point.
Because I didn't smell char, I'm gonna go with Arby's.
Okay, I led you wrong last time. I'm going with you on this one. Arby's.
Final answer.
Let's see what's in the box.
Dang it,
Dang it, I smelled the freaking chicken sandwich! I smelled the exact sandwich. I should have held strong. Can I bite it?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so Popeyes and Burger King are both owned by Restaurant Brands International, a fast food holding company that also owns Tim Hortons.
What?
Restaurant Brands International is the name of the company that owns Burger King and Popeyes.
They're
How do
international.
I just don't know how I feel about this.
I know.
Popeyes and Burger King
Popeyes has got much better
are
chicken than
padding
Burger
the
King.
same pockets.
Yep.
Well, then why don't they put the Popeyes chicken sandwich at Burger King?
Because it's the illusion of competition and options, Link. They want you to feel like you have choices, but you don't. Hey, you should check out votelikeabeast.com to prepare yourself for the 2024 elections. You can register to vote, learn what's on your ballot, and where the candidates stand on the issues that you care about, okay? Go to votelikeabeast.com.
What you got over there, Rhett?
Hey, a little hint.
Oh, come on, dude. Give me this is my favorite ice cream.
Well, give me a...
Ben and Jerry's. Ben and Jerry. Ben and Jerry. Ben and Jerry and Jimmy. That's some great ice cream.
Tonight, though, is it owned by, well, I guess, Ben and Jerry? Do they also own Trojan?
Oh.
As in condoms?
Or do they also own Vaseline?
Oh.
Petroleum jelly?
Condoms? Well, here's the thing. Let's say we're the guys who are buying the companies, right? We're the fat cats.
Yeah, we are. Smoking our cigars.
And we buy Ben and Jerry's and we're celebrating late night. One night we're just eating a bunch of Ben and Jerry's.
Scooping and passing.
Scooping and passing.
Passing and
And
scooping.
then we're like, what do you want to buy next,
Oh
Bob?
man, I need some petroleum jelly.
I mean, what kind of, the petroleum jelly, you open it in the same way that you open ice cream.
It's a
And then
byproduct.
you eat it in the same way that you eat, no you don't.
It's a byproduct of oil. I think.
And so is condoms.
What?
They're both oil.
Because it's plastic.
I mean,
Sheep.
I guess
What if it's
rubber.
sheep?
Sheepskin? You can use sheepskin? You
Yeah.
are a fat cat. So you can put ice cream into an old Vaseline container, and you can also probably put it into a condom. I think we need a lifeline.
Let's do the yell thing with Chase.
Okay, Chase, please vacate to the dressing room.
Okay. All right. We're gonna be listening.
He's either gonna say Trojan or Vaseline.
I don't know what he's gonna say.
You go.
You drown him out.
You guys laughed.
They were laughing because they could hear him, and then I couldn't hear him.
Yeah. You hear it? No.
Well, I heard you pristinely until everybody started laughing.
You're like, the answer is, everybody's like,
I heard him say Trojan condom. I heard him
did?
say that.
You did?
But he might have said not. I think he
it's
said
Trojan.
not.
No. Really?
I think he said not Trojan condoms. You with me?
You're closer to the door, so okay.
Yeah, and I have my ears cupped.
All right.
And everything.
Here we go. Yes!
Yeah, we did it!
All
You're trying
right.
to fool us.
All right, eat something to celebrate. All right.
Oh, me too.
Fooled you.
Oh.
Hey, eat something to celebrate. Sigh.
Fooled me.
So Ben & Jerry's was bought 24 years ago by Unilever, the parent company that also owns Vaseline. However, in March of 2024, Unilever announced it plans to sell the brand off as they exit the ice cream business entirely.
Hey,
Let's buy 'em.
Ben and Jerry's could be red links.
What you got over there? Ooh, I see a corner of it. Oh, hot and fresh and now, donut.
Yeah. Oh.
Krispy Kreme,
Oh.
pride of the Carolinas.
Is it owned by the same people that own Dr. Pepper?
Or Cobalt, which makes drills apparently.
You don't mean just cobalt, the mineral.
No, I mean this thing.
Oh, yes. the blue drill.
The blue drills.
That's not exciting. I mean, Dr. Pepper and Krispy Kreme, that's exciting. That's a party. Yeah, I'm inviting you back if you bring those two things. If you bring over a drill, I'm like, who do you think I am? We're gonna do some work?
I don't know, Rhett. It's nice to have a drill. You know? Have you ever just tried to use a screwdriver? That sucks. We have a free lifeline.
Maybe what happened is they started out and they owned donuts that didn't have holes in them. And then they bought Cobalt sometime prior to 1937.
Okay.
And then they put holes in the donuts, and that's how donuts were invented. They were invented by drilling out donuts without holes to make donuts. That's the origin of donuts. Perfect sense. Yes?
Respectfully.
Yeah.
I think what we're learning is that parent companies are gobbling up these smaller companies, and there's no connection or synergy.
Right.
But we should get somebody to shake the box.
Yeah, we got to shake. We got a shake lifeline. So if we want to shake, and we're listening for Dr. Pepper, which will slosh, or a drill, which will knock. Shake, please.
Shake it, shake it, shake it. Now shake it. Did that sound like a drill to you? It sounded like a clangy box to me.
It didn't sound like a Dr. Pepper. Unless it's Dr. Pepper in cans inside of a box. Can you get a box of Dr. Pepper like a box of wine? Earlier you guessed that the dog food and the baby food were from the same place, and you were right, and I talked you out of it. Now we're back to two food products, and you're talking me out of it to say that it is the drill place. So do you think it's Dr. Pepper or the Cobalt? Based on the shake, it sounded like a box.
I would have heard if it was Dr. Pepper.
I heard no sloshing.
I know that Dr. Pepper is separate from Coca-Cola and Pepsi.
Okay, we're going with Cobalt then.
Well, that makes me think it could be Dr. Pepper.
Just when I finally make a decision?
Yeah. All right, let's just stick with the Cobalt.
Okay, that's our guess. Oh, dang it! Oh, look at that, it's so obvious. It fell over and sloshed.
Where?
So Krispy Kreme is owned by parent company JAB Holding, which owns several fast casual food brands, as well as Keurig Dr. Pepper, the company best known for making K-Cups, as well as a bunch of popular drink brands like Dr. Pepper. It's one big web of companies owning companies. And unfortunately, you've lost. And if you had won, we had a big money-making opportunity for you. Someone's here to pitch you on the next item to add to the Mythical store. So I'm going to go ahead and let him do that. You just can't implement it or act on it. So you just, this is what you lost.
Oh, gosh, okay.
Oh, Rat. He's coming over on my side.
Hello, sharks. I'm Jeremiah Delilah Sonic Knuckles Malachi. And when I'm not in my apocalypse bunker filling jars with urine to use as currency when humanity moves into the Hollow Earth, I'm following my dreams of becoming an inventor. Too many people are grinding up their rats in an unbranded grinder. That's a lost branding opportunity. Turn rats into a quick and handy protein source / fuel / paste with the simple grind of the wrist. Make rat grinding synonymous with Mythical forever. Now, I'm off to my day job, head writer of the Frasier reboot.
You know, as if a rat grinder grinding in my ear wasn't enough, he was also yelling the entire time.
Well, dang it, we could have won that incredible branding opportunity, but we suck.
Thanks for subscribing and clicking that bell.
You know what time it is.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Heather.
And we're at the Bush's Beans Factory in Tennessee. And it's time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
I haven't made my pilgrimage yet.
So a big can of beans, right?
One day I will.
You should do it.
Click the top link to watch us build our ideal makeovers in Good Mythical Lore.
And to find out where the wheel of mythicality is going to land. Visit votelikeabeast.com to make sure you are prepared and informed to cast your vote in this year's elections.